Hello friends, welcome back. It is time to plan out our meals for the month of April, and we're gone in April for a good chunk of it for our spring break. So I have planned meals for when we get back, and also April is when all of our sporting events really ramp up. And so I've planned dinners that we will be at home for, and then dinners I will have to pack, and you'll kind of see that as we go along here. But the first dinner we're going to have is pork tenderloin. I already have one in the freezer. I don't even have to add anything to my grocery list to be able to have that one. And then we're also going to have ham balls for Easter. That's if I can find it's like a Dutch thing. It's a Vandenbrink ham loaf. It's sort of like a ham meatloaf, but you make meatballs out of it. I don't know. It's hard to describe. I don't know if it's like a Midwest thing or just like a West Michigan thing. I'm not sure. But they're hard to find sometimes. But we're going to have those for Easter. We'll be home for Easter. We're also going to have chicken tostadas. It's just a really easy meal that everybody likes. Some people use the tostadas. Some people use soft taco shells. Some people use chips. But everybody's happy when I make that one. We're also going to have Bang Bang Chicken. I didn't fix that last month, and that's Jericho's favorite, so I'm going to have that this month. I am getting some frozen hamburger patties from Sam's Club. I love to get those and just keep them in the freezer, and they make a really quick lunch or dinner. You can just throw them frozen right onto the grill. So I have that on the list for this month. And then turkey meatballs. I already have the sauce in the freezer because when I make that turkey meatball sauce, it always makes enough for two. And so I just popped one right in the freezer the last time I made it. And I already have the ground turkey in the freezer as well. So I really don't have to add anything to my grocery list for that one. I'm putting little asterisks by things because we have some special guests coming this month. Naomi's parents are coming from Sweden to visit her, which is super exciting. And so I'm just kind of keeping in mind some dinners that will be easy when they're here to have like family dinners and stuff. So just to like remind myself to save those for when they're here if we need meals while they're here. Cheese tortellini, I like to get these from Sam's Club and then just use Rao's sauce. Delicious. Everyone loves it. Crock-pot French dip sandwiches. I have one more chuck roast left in the freezer from the quarter of a cow that we got last summer. So I think we're going to use it for French dip sandwiches. Now, tater tot casserole is for when we get home from vacation. It's something that's super easy to fix, and I have everything on hand for it. So I'm going to fix that right when we get back from vacation, and I have a bag of frozen broccoli that we can have with it as well. Brats on the grill, that's always a favorite. We have those at least once a month during grilling season, at least. And then orange chicken is another one that I can fix very easily. That's just from Trader Joe's. I have 2 bags of orange chicken. I have frozen broccoli, and then I just need to make up some rice, so that'll make a really, really easy dinner, when you're tired getting home from vacation. And then Hawaiian pork sliders. I make these little homemade yeast rolls that are like slider size, and I already have extra pork in the freezer that's already made up. I drew a line there because now we're getting into all of the things that I'm going to have available that we can pack. So during this busy season, I like to give myself at least like 2 Little Caesars nights where like if we're split up and I don't know, something happened that day, Jason's with kids in one spot, I'm with kids in another spot, and we can get Little Caesars and get everybody fed and be good. Good Grub is a great one to pack. I pack it in thermoses and just, put some snacks on the side with it, a drink, and it's a really good dinner. I like to do some hot dinners on these cold, baseball, softball, track, tennis times because it's really cold sitting out there a lot, and a hot dinner is very nice sometimes. So Korean beef bowl, the times 2 is just to make sure that I remind myself that I have to double that recipe. French onion meatballs and pasta. That's a turkey meatball, and I make homemade French onion soup, and then I just kind of make it into a sauce and mix it with pasta. Pasta salad. That one's also very easy to pack. Obviously, that's a cold one, but it's very easy to pack in containers and take to the ball field with us. Butter chicken, I think I'm still perfecting this recipe. We all really like it, but I think I'm going to use chicken thighs, and I think it will make it a lot better because the chicken breasts tend to dry out. And then crockpot taco dip, I'm just reminding myself to only make a half of a recipe because it makes a ton. And then crockpot potato soup. Now I need to have some lunch ideas. We pretty much have the same things for lunch all of the time. It doesn't really vary. We eat leftovers a lot if there's any for lunch. I always like to have stuff for the air fryer that the kids can fix themselves. I always have stuff for flatbread pizzas that they can easily do. We still have a ton of soft pretzels in the freezer. Those have been a big hit. And then I like to have a couple things that I can fix on the weekends, like if we're all home. So like skillet mac and cheese. I didn't get to those coconut curry lentils last month, but I do really want to try those. Those sound very yummy. And then for snacks and sides, I only put stuff over here that I need to buy ingredients for from the store, or that I need to remember to make ahead of time. So like homemade yeast rolls, I have to start those, well before dinner to make sure that I have those ready for dinner. So cheesy potatoes, same thing, that takes quite a few ingredients, so I just want to make sure that I have all of those. My sourdough bread, I have to start the day before. So this is basically just a reminder to myself, all of the things that I don't want to forget that I have for sides. If it's like a regular salad or regular frozen veggies or something like that, I don't write it down. I switch those up, day of if I'm feeling like something different. This winter slaw, though, we're going to have for Easter. It's really delicious, but it takes quite a few fresh ingredients, and I kind of wrote them off on the side there to remind myself of what I need. So, I really have not, I don't think I've bought sandwich bread in months. Jericho really, really likes the homemade yeast rolls, and everybody really kind of would just prefer to put a sandwich on those little rolls, so I make those quite a bit. And I do have some freeze-dried zucchini that I want to use up, and so I'm going to make some snickerdoodle zucchini bread, maybe even when Naomi's parents are here, just to have out. It's really good. It really should be a dessert, though. It really shouldn't be called a bread because it's very sweet. Now I just need to have some breakfast items. We've all really been loving the turkey bacon from Sam's Club, and I got myself a new griddle, and so I will fill the whole griddle with turkey bacon. Of course, I make my homemade bagels at least twice a month, probably about 3 times a month. And then I want to make sure that I have some sourdough bread to be able to have for toast when company is here as well. For desserts, I should have written down, I didn't. I probably should go back and do that though. But I am responsible for softball team dinner a night in April, and so I want to make sure that I have everything. I'm just going to do the ham ranch cheese roll-ups. I think some people call them pinwheels. That's all the girls ever want is pinwheels, peanut butter Rice Krispie treats, and then I get chips and fruit to go with it and a drink, and we haul it to the softball field and everybody's happy. So I'm just making sure that I write that down. The Irish potato cake is my mother-in-law's recipe, and Jason really likes that. And his birthday will be over spring break, so we'll kind of celebrate that on Easter, so I'm going to make him an Irish potato cake. But that is everything that we need, everything that we're having for the month of April. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!